So Overwatch originally launched in 2016, and that's when I started playing it. And I was pretty into it for a little while, but eventually, like the kind of same loop over and over again, I got bored, and I was like, all right, I'll come back to this when it is, when they add some more stuff, and it just seems more exciting. So I hopped back in 2017 when they added Doomfist, so like a year later, and I remember still enjoying the game. I still think I was just playing the same characters, and it still kind of like felt the same. So maybe I played like the same amount of time, and I was like, all right, cool. Like, it still feels like the same game. Nothing too crazy. And I'm out. And so since then, I haven't hopped back into Overwatch. I think I played maybe one time because maybe someone asked me, but I'm not even sure about that. And then they switched from Overwatch to Overwatch 2, and apparently everybody and their mama was like, yo, this game sucks now. And so I was like, okay, there's no point of going back to Overwatch. And then Marvel Rivals came out, and everyone is in love with that game. And Overwatch finally had some competition. Well, not really because it sucked, but you know what I mean. And I have not tried out Marvel Rivals yet. I actually don't like most superheroes, which is a whole nother hot take video. But they did add Blade, and I was like, all right, cool. I'm thinking about hopping in, but I'm not going to hop in until they add Ghost Rider. I'm firm on that stance. But listen, once they add Ghost Rider,
my life is yours.
All right. So, anyways, I digress. I finally decided to hop back into Overwatch. Some genius was like, "What if we dropped the 2 and just went back to Overwatch?" I felt like when Max was like, "What if we put the HBO back in Max?" And I'm sure some, person got an insane bonus for that, genius idea. But anyways, so they switched from Overwatch 2 to Overwatch. They're like, "Hey, we're fixing everything. Everything's gonna be better now." I was like, "All right, let me hop back in and see, how the game is progressing." And I was overwhelmed by the roster. There's so many characters now. And even though they're putting categories, it still is like, wait, there's different categories now? So now I gotta learn, like, the best way to play, like, these characters within each, grouping. I was like, all right, let me not scare myself. Just hop into training, try some new characters out, see what I like, and then, kind of go from there. Because no matter how much training or whatever you do, it won't matter until, you're actually playing the games. And then that's when, you'll see what you're really made of. So I was doing the training, and the first thing I noticed was that each character has perks now, which I personally enjoy. I think it makes the characters feel a little more customizable, a little more personable, because you're like, all right, cool, this is the way I like to play this character. So yeah, I do enjoy the perks. And then some characters, once you get, the perks that work for you, I think it's like, okay, well, now I'm at full power. You know what I mean? And there's something really enjoyable about when you're maybe you're crushing it like early in a match, and you get your 2 perks like very early, and you're like, okay, cool, now I'm already at Super Saiyan 2, we're ready to go. And so yeah, I really like the perk system. That being said, right, with this huge roster, I'm trying people out. I've always played damage. I was always Soldier and Hanzo when the 2 times that I played, and so I was like, all right, let's see, like, have things changed? Am I different now? And yes and no. So majority of this video is actually going to be my discovery, or explaining my discovery of like who I like to play now, and less about so much as Overwatch, because I kind of feel like it's the same game. But yeah, so just to let you know off top, that's basically what this video is going to be about. So yeah, I'm still mainly a damage person, but there is a twist to all this, but we will get there. All right, so we're gonna stick with the damage grouping, right? I have some honorable mentions off top. Ashe, or Ash, however you say your name. On paper, I should love this character, and I don't know what it is, but every time I actually get out there and play against people, I can't do it. Like, I'm just not feeling the flow of her character. I mean, she has a short range, like, fast shooting. She has the long range rifle. You got the dynamite, and eventually you get Bob, right? It's all, again, on paper, and when I'm in training, it feels good. And for some reason, when I get out there, it just isn't clicking. And I have a theory, but I'm not sure 100% what it is. So that's all I have to say about her. She did not make it on the team, essentially. The other person I ended up trying and being like, oh, okay, cool, is Freya. I think that's how you say her name. Again, I was already playing as Hanzo, so I was like, okay, cool. She has a crossbow. She's just like a faster version of him, essentially. And then, when you zoom in or you aim, that's when she has like the slower shots, right? And for her, I just don't think I've figured out how to be a flanker yet. And because of that, her skills don't really work with me, because her skills are just movement. Like, you either hop up or you hop forward. But I want like something else. Like, I kind of wish, how her ultimate is the little like balls on a string that like tie people up. I wish that was like a side thing that could like hold someone down for like a couple seconds and then shoot them, instead of it being her ult. So just being like having the movement and being like, yeah, that's where you're supposed to, use your movement to get behind the enemy team and, take them out. I just haven't figured it out yet. I feel like once I figure it out, she might be in my top 3. But if not, she's going to be top 4 for sure. But I think I just need to do more testing and maybe watch some more YouTube videos on that. But yeah, she is not on the top 3. Now, my third string, who was originally my second string, is Hanzo. I am not the best Hanzo player. I'm not the best Overwatch player, honestly. But there's just something so satisfying about getting a good headshot, and just something about having a bow and arrow in any game just makes me like automatically slow down. And there's something I like about it as opposed to like sniping. I've never been a sniper person, so I think that's also why I don't like Ashe, even though I like, if you give me a rifle, right, I'll pick off a couple people and then I usually go in there in other games. But there's something about Hanzo just being that bow and arrow, that slow, like, all right, really aim your shot. Even though the, arrows are unlimited, like, aim your shot, take it, right? And then you got the burst mode. That's cool. I've been watching some more videos and they're like, oh yeah, you can actually bounce it. And I was like, oh, what? So that's another thing I'm hoping on learning. So yeah, Hanzo is still in my top 3. He's third because just because I'm, again, not the best at like sniping people. It is great when you get the, shoot through the wall and you get the double dragons or whatever. But honestly, unless my other damage partner is like, some sort of more assault type character, I'm not good enough at Hanzo to be like, all right, cool, we can have 2, sniper type characters. So yeah, I still enjoy Hanzo, but he's kind of just like, all right, if someone else is doing a lot more of the running and shooting, I'll be the character in the back. But again, I'm not that good, so it really is depending on the team. Moving on to my second string, and my he used to be my number 1, right, is Soldier. And a quick little tangent right here. Why are all the skins like $20? All right, I mean, so he's my favorite, right? I wanted to, I shouldn't have went online because I saw that they did a Gundam collab and it's not on the store, and I'm like, that's the one I really wanted. But I remember the last time I played, or the last time I like checked in, I remember seeing this like cyberpunk costume or skin, and so that's the one I have for now. If the Gundam one comes back, I'll probably end up spending the money for it because I'm weak. But yeah, I was like, what? Like, each character's like 20. Like, yeah, do you want the good skin? It's like $20 per skin to get the coins. Like, get the fuck out of here. I hate it. I mean, as someone who's a cosmetic player or gamer, I don't mind spending money on skins. I prefer that over loot boxes, but it's like, can we be a little reasonable here? You know what I mean? Because sometimes it's just like, all right, I just want one skin. I'll give you $5 for it. Like, why gotta pay $20? Anyways, Soldier's still in my top. I think it's just because, you get that good FPS feel, even though you're playing a hero shooter. And, there's nothing like running around, taking cover, shooting people. There's nothing I like more than like maybe we wiped out the team, and then I see they're about to push again, and I just put the healing thing on the floor, and I'm like taking my stance like, all right, let's go, like I'm Captain America versus Thanos. So yeah, I think Soldier will always be in my top 3. I don't think I could ever really let him go. Getting into my number 1 is Bastion. I feel like, and maybe someone can tell me this in the comments, I feel like he used to be a different character, like in terms of the way he plays. But I had a couple people that were just like murking me in some matches, and I was like, let me try him out. And I feel like I got to flow down. There's nothing better than I see them pushing, and then I like go around the corner, transform, and I just come out and just blast everyone away. I feel like anytime I'm Bastion, I'm more likely to get play of the game. It's just something about definitely like his transformation, and once I get to perk 3 with the self-healing, like come on, I'm ready to go. So yeah, anytime I notice in terms of when I'm playing damage, if I'm playing Bastion, I usually get an endorsement at least each match. So yeah, he's clearly my number 1. I pretty much crush it. As much as I can whenever I am playing as him. I do wish there were better skins. I'm like, how does he not have a Gundam skin if you did Gundams? Granted, it's not in the store. I just don't like any of his skins, so he needs a better skin. Not that I want to spend the money, but if I'm gonna spend hours in this game, I want to look good. All right. But the biggest plot twist of coming back to Overwatch is that I'd say my best character is actually a support character, which I did not expect to find or figure that out, because I do not like playing support. I feel like, being in the back, I gotta heal people all the time. That's my main job. I don't like it. But there's one character that like changed everything for me. But I still want to do a top 3 for support. And the main reason I even came up with doing a top 3 in support is because I was playing a match and someone took my main character, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, if I'm going to be support, I should probably learn how to play some other characters. So on my 3rd string, we got Moira. I had to change her controls because I'm so used to doing damage that her R2, so the usual like fire button, is her heal. So I kept running up to people when I was like trying to learn her, and like accidentally pressing the healing button. And so I probably looked like an idiot trying to heal the enemy as they just like killed me. And so yeah, I had to go in the settings and like change the controls around. And now I'm better. I still don't think I fully understand how to play her correctly, especially because I feel like with her kind of like like ghost dash thing, I feel like you're supposed to be a little more aggressive, and I saw a video of being like, hey, if you're playing her, this is how you should play, so I need to try that out. But I definitely do enjoy playing as her, and I can see me, if I can figure, again, I think it's all about flanking. If I can figure out how to like do a little more flanking and being like a little more in the corners and stuff, I think I can really get her down. But she's enjoyable. Her only good skin, in my opinion, is like the mythic skin or something like that, and I was like, come on, bro, this is ridiculous. But yeah, she's my 3rd string. 2nd string we got is Alari. I enjoy her. I missed out on the skin I actually liked for her, because I didn't realize it was like in rotation or whatever. I also hate when stores do that too. But anyways, I didn't know that you could hold down her blaster or whatever and then shoot. So again, I'm still learning everything, but I actually enjoy being like, oh cool, there's different ways for me to play. I'm definitely want to get good at placing her little healing thing down. So far I think I'm decent at it, but I think there's some probably better modifications I could do for that. And then sometimes I think because she has a gun, right, I feel like sometimes I kind of forget that I'm the healer, and I get a little too aggressive, and I'm like, okay, wait, I gotta back up. I gotta play my role right, you know what I mean? But yeah, Laurie is my 2nd. I do enjoy her, and I like, especially once you start getting the perks, and I can start like doing fire damage or whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. So yeah, I definitely can see myself getting good with her. She'll never be number 1, but I can see her being a solid number 2, and continuing on as I continue to play Overwatch. But my number 1 character of the entire shebang since I've been back is Juno. All right, I crush it when I am Juno. There's something about just being like, yo, just shoot your friends and then you'll heal them. And then she got the, lock on. I can aim on everybody, maybe even hit an enemy. But like, I am zipping around. I'm healing. Like, every time I play as Juno, unless we get like swept, I'm getting like 3 endorsements per match. Like, I am pretty much like unstoppable as playing with Juno. Especially when we get to her perks, right? So I always pick the one where it's like, all right, like find your friends faster to heal them when you like do the lock on thing. And then the other one I love, which is why I always love getting to level 2, is like, oh, when you float, your blaster is automatic instead of like 3-round burst. And so sometimes, people try to run up on me and then I start floating and I'm like, brrr, and I'm like, yeah, that's what you thought, all right? I can still kill you even though I'm the healer. So yeah, I just have so much fun playing Juno. And again, I'm so good at playing her that as long as my team is like doing their thing, it's like, I got you, don't worry about it. I am here. The only thing I don't really care for is her like little dash ring ability. I do wish it was more of like, I attach some sort of, gadget to someone's back and then I heal them and then, but I can also shoot and heal other people. I can see people being like, oh, well, that's too much healing. But I just really don't care for the dash ring. Like, it's nice when, you and a couple people died and you can get back to the fight faster. But honestly, if I could like swap it out, I would swap it out. But yeah, she is my number 1 character. I've tried to, so I've only been playing unranked. I've tried ranked 3 times now, and I've only played as her because, again, she's my best character, always get endorsed, and all 3 times my teams have got absolutely swept. I mean, crushed within like 30 seconds. So I'm like, I'm the healer. I'm back there. I'm healing. So I don't know what the formula is for ranked, but I don't have it. I don't know if it's that other people are like teaming up with their friends who play all the time or something, but so far I'm like not having fun so I think I'm just gonna stick to unranked. But like ranked, yeah, we just get demolished. But the thing I noticed about Overwatch overall, because I haven't really played too much of the other like modes, I pretty much just play unranked, and it's like, all right, either do damage or support. I do like now that you can, at least the way that I play is the 5v5 where it's like you have to pick a role. I personally like that. I don't like when people are yelling at me, or not that I don't think it's really happened, but you've seen the videos of people being like, you have to play this one or like whatever. And if I need to, if I want to try a new character, I'll play them for a little bit, and if I'm sucking, I'll switch to someone I'm better at. But I think the overall thing for Overwatch is just the team, right? Sometimes I'm playing with the team and we are all playing our roles and we get things done. And sometimes I'm playing and it's like, why is the healer on the front line acting like they're the tank? Why is the tank out there when both the healers just got murked by the fucking fire girl who flanked us? Why is our assault hiding in the corner and then when we need them they're like, just like, the biggest thing is like people don't play their roles correctly, and it's just like, what are you doing? And I feel like the best setup for the team, and this might be obvious if you're an Overwatch player, is like, okay, you have a tank, right? And then you have 1 sniper, you have 1 person who is full on assault, you have 1 healer like a Mercy who's just like, I'm just behind you, don't worry about it. And then you got the other one who heals / can do a little bit of fighting. And I feel like as long as everyone plays their roles, that's like the perfect setup for the team, which again may be obvious, but there's just so many times where I'm like playing and I'm like, what are we doing here, guys? And then I'll have to like switch my character, or I'm just like, all right, I guess we're just gonna lose this match or whatever. Because I remember one time I was playing as Hanzo and the other person was playing Widowmaker, so we had 2 snipers, and neither of us clearly were good enough to hold the front down or whatever. So we ended up switching, or at least I remember switching to like a more assault character like Bastion or Soldier or something. So I was just like, the team ain't teaming right now. But what I do also enjoy is sometimes like it feels like you're gonna get swept, and then your team is able to come back and then make it to like the second part. Like, okay, maybe we were able to hold this point enough to get to the next point where we gotta hold it again, or how the matches go. But sometimes I do like, even if we lose, I do like if we are able to like, okay, we were gonna get our asses kicked, but we came back. We still lost in the end, but we did our thing. We held our ground enough. So yeah, I'm enjoying Overwatch for what it is right now. I think the more characters I play as, the longer I will continue to enjoy this game, even though I'm only playing like the same the same unranked type things, and you can only play the maps so many times. I think the best thing for me would probably be like, hop in, do a couple matches, and then dip. I think, right now, because I just started, I'm like, super invested right now, and I'm like, oh, I'm playing hours and hours of it, but I think that will eventually wane. I think there's just not enough variety that I'm interested in to actually play this game for like hours and hours on end. Again, I think it's just a couple matches and then I'm out. But I think that's what keeps people around anyways. And again, the idea of learning how to play something like a flanker would be something that interests me more. I tried Vendetta. I cannot figure her out. I think I mainly just like her because she's given like Wonder Woman, and she has a giant sword, and I love swords. I also tried was it Osron or whatever, the fire fangirl. I tried her out, and I feel like I'm doing nothing. I'm not a tank person, so that won't change for sure. If anything, I will, maybe I can figure out Ashe and Freya. But aside from that, yeah, I think I'll just stick to the core 6 for now, and then just see what happens. But let me know if you're an Overwatch player, if you came back, if you're a Laps player. Yeah, just let me know what you're feeling about Overwatch. And until next time, peace.